Hey kids, welcome to the Our Hero Jesus channel.
Do you believe in real miracles? Can you imagine 300 men facing thousands of soldiers and winning without using a single weapon? Wow! Sounds impossible, right? Stay with us until the end to find out how Gideon and his 300, with God's power, shined and overcame a challenge that seemed impossible. Want to know how it all happened? Then subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up. Now, let's jump right into the story. In those days, it was a time of great suffering for the people of Israel. The Midianites were oppressing them, destroying their crops and stealing their possessions. The people cried out to God for help, and God chose Gideon, a humble man, to lead the Israelites in the liberation of their people. In the beginning, Gideon did not feel confident. He asked God several times if he was truly the chosen one and even asked for signs. On one of these occasions, he placed a fleece of wool on the ground and asked God to make only the fleece wet with dew, while the ground around it remained dry. God answered Gideon's request, and then, to confirm it even more, did the opposite. The fleece remained dry, and the ground became wet. Certain that God was with him, Gideon gathered a large army to face the Midianites, but God had a special plan. He told Gideon there were too many soldiers, and that the army should be reduced so the people would know it was the Lord who gave them the victory, not their own strength. God asked Gideon to tell the men who were afraid to go home. So 22,000 men went home, leaving only 10,000. Even then, God said there were still too many. He ordered Gideon to take the men to the river to drink water. Those who drank water by bringing it to their mouths with their hands, without kneeling, would be the chosen ones. Of the 10,000 men, only 300 drank in this manner. God told Gideon,
"With these 300 men, I will deliver you from the Midianites."
Gideon trusted in God, and with only these few men, prepared for battle. On the night before the battle, God told Gideon to go down to the Midianite camp and hear what they were saying. Gideon went and heard one of the Midianites telling a dream to another. In the dream, a loaf of barley bread rolled through the camp and knocked down a tent. The other man replied,
"This can be nothing other than the sword of Gideon son of Joash, the Israelite. God has given the Midianites and the entire camp into his hands."
When Gideon heard the dream and its interpretation, he worshipped God. He returned to the camp of Israel and shouted,
"Get up! The Lord has given the Midianite camp into your hands!"
When the time for battle came, Gideon divided the 300 men into 3 groups. Each man received a trumpet, a clay jar, and a torch. In the middle of the night, they surrounded the Midianite camp. At Gideon's signal, they all blew the trumpets, broke the jars, and raised the torches, shouting, "For the Lord and for Gideon's sword!" The Midianites were so frightened that they began to run in panic. In the confusion, they ended up fighting among themselves, and the army was defeated without Gideon and his men needing to use swords. God had given the victory to the people of Israel, and it all began with Gideon's obedience and trust in God's plan. The story of Gideon teaches us that God can do great things, even with limited resources. It is not the size of the army that matters, but faith and obedience to God. When we trust in His plan, we can overcome any challenge.
While each man held his position around the camp, all the Midianites ran, crying out as they fled. When the 300 trumpets sounded, the Lord caused the men throughout the camp to turn on each other with their swords. The army fled to Beth Shittah toward Zererah, as far as the border of Abel-Moholah near Tabbath.
The best place to bring the Bible to kids is right here. Subscribe to the channel and leave a like. See you next time, everyone. God bless you.